Hey guys, today we are doing G.I. Joe Classified number 147, the Saw Viper. Welcome to the Cobra Report. Alright, the Saw Viper is legendary in the G.I. Joe comic as being responsible for the death of several G.I. Joes, including fan favorite Doc. So let's take a look at what Hasbro did with the G.I. Joe Classified version of the Saw Viper. Alright, here's just a quick look at the box. Nothing fancy, just a nice window package here so you can see the whole figure. G.I. Joe Classified Series, Cobra symbol. A little boring. Cobra Saw Viper number 147. These symbols, if you go to the website, tell you all about the Saw Viper. It'd be nice if they just put it on the package. Number 147. Nice cool close-up of his face. Here we go to the side. Once again, amazing package art on here. This should really be front and center. I don't know why Hasbro decides to keep hiding it on the side. This should be right on the front of the box. That would make me want to buy this figure a hell of a lot more. Here we go to the back. There he is in action mode, and without the helmet, with the helmet. Uh-oh, there's Doc's helmet. What happened to Doc? For those of you in the comics know, Saw Viper killed Doc and a couple other Joes. And that's a nod to that. Let's take a look at him. So here he is out of the box. Not completely loaded up. I actually prefer him without the helmet here. We're going to add his helmet to him. Pops on pretty easily. Gives him almost like a RoboCop kind of look to him. He's got this little saw. Goes right to the bottom of the gun there. So now you can see the saws on there. This is him completely loaded up. Nice. Again, you can look on this side of the screen and see more detail and everything. So let's take a look at him a little further. So the helmet pops off. You can take this part off. This little neck piece. Not sure what it does. Get more of a look. It's up and down with his head. Pop that off. So the backpack, I'm not sure if it's supposed to go this way or if it's supposed to go that way. Yeah, okay, so it's got to go this way. But then the bullets, the ammunition comes out that way. So is the Saw Viper, I guess, is supposed to be a lefty. But then there's no spot on the left side of the gun. So it has to go out on the right side. So it kind of feeds weird into the gun here, which is interesting. And this does not stay in easily at all. It pops off like super easy, and the saw actually comes off pretty easily too. So it has this little, I've got him holding on to it right here, but you can see there should be, I think there should be either a handle on the top of the gun or somewhere on the bottom, because a gun in real life like this would weigh at least 50 pounds. So that's gonna be a heavy gun, and he's only got one grip for it. But this is cool, so you could like lie him down. You'd use that. It's like a little kickstand for the gun, so you can shoot that way. Take off his gun here, take off his backpack. It does have a space for the knife here on the back. Goes right in there. Removable handgun right here. Does not have a removable clip. So all these little shoulder pieces here fall off pretty easily. They don't come off. They're not really removable. I mean, you could remove them if you wanted. You'd have to cut them. But they don't stay up very easily, which is one of the few drawbacks of this character. Others, I think he's like really good. Nice little pads on his arms here. This dude is just loaded to the max with body armor. And this guy is just a fierce little figure on the bed. You do not want to face this guy. Like, bullets are just going to bounce right off of him. Good articulation, so you can move his arms like that. Knees. I'm always afraid to, I always feel like these guys are going to break. When you try to bend some of these knee joints, they're really stiff. So there he goes. So his knee joint there bends. Get this one a little bit. There we go. So good articulation, good movement. The ankles, they slide, they go side by side. God, I just feel like I'm going to break them. Again, the same issue with the elbows. Like getting that other piece to move. Okay, there it goes. So you get the full range of motion on the elbow. It just really feels like you could break him if you tried too hard, especially once again. Yeah, that piece is not moving. Really tight on there. I don't want to break him, so I'm not going to move it. Hands, are they removable? Hands are removable, hopefully, otherwise I just broke it. But yeah, hands are removable, so if you want, you could interchange it with somebody else's hands. I don't know why you'd want to, though. The hands are pretty cool. So they've got like all this nice little paint apps on the knuckles and everything, make them a different color. See the green on his belt just adds a little bit. This chest piece is not the vest, the bulletproof vest. All the armor load ups. This is a separate piece. It is not molded in plastic on one piece, so this is actually over it. It is not removable, but it is one piece. Same here with this piece is all just one piece there. It's just painted, so it's paint apps. But they did a really great job. Sometimes when they have the plastic and then the paint, the color just doesn't quite match up, but in this case it does. So really great. This dude, I can't say enough about him. You get this menacing look on his face, these piercing eyes. And even though you can only see his mouth and his eyes, he has a lot of personality in this face. So just a really great figure. You have the Cobra symbol up here, just a few little details that you can point out. Overall, just really fun. Little pouch. So it doesn't come up with a ton of weapons, but it's a pretty good loadout for him. And you can do different looks. So here he is, looking all RoboCop. This is once again without the chest protector, or without the neck protector. Put him back on. This is removable. He's got a little more armor there now. I like him this way. I think he looks the best like this. The helmet removed in this little piece right there. There he is in all of his glory right there. So pretty good. Lots of posability options, maneuverability on all the joints. You've got a lot of great playability. So if you're like me and you're a collector and you're just gonna sit them on a shelf behind you, you can put them in lots of fun little poses. Otherwise for kids, it's a little bit hard to move. I don't see really like a kid being able to bend some of these joints. I am struggling to do it. So guys, if you're buying these for one of your kids, just be aware of that it is pretty stiff. So you might have to use it a lot before it finally starts to bend a little bit. But otherwise, this guy's fantastic. This is one of my favorites. I did not have a Saw Viper when I was a kid, but this is a modern update. Pretty true to the original, but you know, once again, Classified just steps it up, adds all these extra little elements to him that just make him a real force to be reckoned with. I could see why this guy in the comic books was responsible for the death of a couple of Joes. All right, everyone, tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. But that's him. That's the Saw Viper. Another one of the Cobra ranks. This is one of my favorites of the Classifieds. These backpacks too are always a little bit difficult to get in there, especially when they have some kind of armor or something over it. Just makes it a little difficult to get it into the hole because they don't quite line up all the time. Something G.I. Joe might want to consider, or Hasbro may want to work on. You do have the hole in the top of the gun for a blast effect, which would be nice if they started coming with those blast effects. You put the hole in there, but you don't have any blast effect. This piece falls off pretty easily too. But there you go. There he is, the Saw Viper. What do you think? All right, so there he is. This guy is just an absolute beast of a figure. He is loaded with body armor, heavy weaponry. This dude is just a force. You do not want to run into him in a dark alley. He's gonna take you out. G.I. Joes did not survive an encounter with him in the past, and they're gonna have a hard time surviving encounters with him in the future. Just a great army builder, great addition to your shelves. Just an all-around fantastic figure on the part of Hasbro. Great job once again.